Alright, hopefully everybody can hear me. Starting this recording off pretty raw. What's up, everybody? Right here on my basic desktop, got OBS Studios open. This is how I make my recordings and my videos that I put on YouTube. A lot of people are probably familiar with it. It's a free program you can download. We can go into more detail about that later, but the reason I'm starting out right here is because we're going to be doing some troubleshooting on the PC today, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of stuff if the video continues to work out right and I fix the troubleshooting. I'll show you a few other things that have to do with Linux operating system and virtual machines and getting that going on. So we'll see how long this video is going to be. I'm not sure. The troubleshooting we need to work on right now is actually in OBS Studios. I made a hotkey, the letter P on the keyboard, to pause my videos that are recording instead of stopping them, so I can then unpause them. You know, makes sense. Problem is I've tried to make a couple of other videos that have stopped at 3 minutes, 5 minutes, this and that. And they're videos where I'm, you know, not in the game that I've shown before, or games for that matter. I'm doing stuff on the computer itself, and you need to use your keyboard for that. The whole keyboard. So I'm almost sure I already know what my problem is. I think, you know, I might have been on Google or typing things in or something and hit the button P, obviously, and paused some of those videos. But it's kind of pissed me off, to be honest, because it's happened to a couple, 2, 3 videos now I've tried to make. And so that's where we're going to start the troubleshooting with. I'm going to go into my settings here, and we're going to just go straight to hotkeys. And, you know, I wish there was a way to reset these to default. I'm not familiar with this program 100%. I'm new to it. I just know that it's a good program. Revert. Let's see if we can do that. See, that didn't do anything for me. Clear. Alright, let's clear it and apply that. Now, I have a start recording and a stop recording hotkey on my keyboard, but they are not keys that you use. Well, you can already tell. I think it's like the period and the or that's not the apostrophe, the comma. Anyway, not keys that you use too often on the keyboard. Sometimes the comma, sometimes the period, I guess. But those work for now. I might need to change them in the future, but they seem to be working all right for now. So we're gonna go with that. And as far as troubleshooting goes, that was where I was going to go to right away with this and probably stop with it. The thing I have to do now is test it. We're already pushing 3 minutes on the recording. Like I said, I've had numerous other recordings. Pause at 3 minutes, pause at 5 minutes. But I've been sitting here on the basic screen doing nothing but sitting in the application itself. As you can see, it shows double picture of what it's capturing. Most time you don't see this, it's either minimized, and matter of fact, I think I have another setting in here that you might not be able to see this. No, right here, hide OBS windows from screen capture. So if I had this selected, you would not be able to see this, I do believe. Again, don't quote me on that, that's what it makes sense to me, that's what it means. So the next step, obviously, when you're troubleshooting anything, is you have to test it. Now, there's a couple different ways I can test this. Being that I'm trying to make a video with it, and I kind of want the test to be part of the video, we want it to be about, I don't know, at least a 5-minute long test. See if we can get this up to 7 or 8 minutes of recording time without a pause. And like I said, there's a couple ways I can do that. I can simply put on some television on the internet and just let this thing record and sit here with you guys for 5 minutes. But what fun is that? So I think I'm going to just kind of press on with some of my other stuff. And what I'm going to do is I will minimize this, but I'm going to come back to it quite frequently. And if it pauses, I'll pick back up from a pause and explain what happened, I guess, and we'll continue troubleshooting it. But that'll be the test for now. I don't think a video is sufficient. I don't think that's, you know, I mean, anybody can just load TV and watch it. I'd rather be hands-on with a test and see what happens here. So we're getting up near 5 minutes, and it's still recording. So I'm going to minimize this. And the thing I wanted to show you, I got VMware Workstation Pro. You know, I don't know. I'm not one of those people that is going to tell you not to pirate stuff. I mean, if you've got the money, pay for it. I pay for a lot of games that I simply could pirate, but you can't play them multiplayer, or it doesn't come with this feature or that, and I really like the game, so I pay for it. Software, on the other hand, I'm a little bit more into just straight pirating, I will admit. It's easy to come across, and hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people do it, so don't worry about, I mean, it's not like it was back in the day. I mean, yeah, it's still illegal or whatever, I guess, but who's gonna be bothering you about it, you know? Get your shit that you need and work on your computer. Some of this software is really expensive, and you'd never be able to work on some of this stuff if you didn't have it. You know, there is a downfall, though. I mean, it's like anything else. Some of the software you get, you know, it may or may not come with all the features. A lot of times it doesn't. Or a lot of times you actually get software that's just a demo, or it's absolutely nothing illegal at all, to be honest with you. It's just people sharing files from one computer to another. So it's pretty simple to do. We'll talk more about that later. I am going to make videos on that. So long, I guess, as YouTube lets me. I don't know how that will go. It's not like what I would consider hacking or full-bore hacking. It's brain-dead stuff. But anyway, we'll get into that in another time. We're going to load up the virtual machine here. Go back here and see if we're still recording. We are. Like I said, I'd be coming back to that quite frequently to check on things. But what I wanted to show you was another troubleshooting issue that I've solved already, but was quite interesting with this. Now, I'm not going to take you back to the whole installation process of Linux Mint on here. I was just letting you know where I started. I got the VMware Workstation Pro. You need this. It's the program I recommend to run virtual computers on your desktop. There's many of other ones out there. They're probably sufficient. I just went with this one right offhand, and it works real well. It's very low setup for Linux. 2-core processor, 4 gigs of RAM, and 20 gigs of hard drive space. You know, I'm not playing games on it or doing anything like that. Got it all set up here on the virtual machine. And we're going to power it on. And I'm going to show you one of the problems I was having with it right away, and show you how to troubleshoot that problem, because I looked it up online, which is kind of how I figured out how to solve it. So I'm just going to share it with y'all. But it's a common problem, a real common problem. Now, there's a lot of talk out there, and a lot of people weren't finding the solution, but I just so happened to stumble across it, I guess. So let's get this powered up here. And this is the Linux Mint edition. It's running the Cinnamon desktop, if any of you know anything about Linux at all. I really don't. So I just know that about it, but I don't know what any of it means. I'm new to Linux. I've never run Linux before. I tried back in like 2006. And it was straight programming language just to install the operating system. It was very difficult. It was much more user-friendly. I'm not going to walk you through the install, like I said. But basically, burn it to a disk or put it on a USB drive and install it just like you would Windows. And it's even simpler now. I mean, it's quick and easy. So I'm not going to walk you through all that. Let's take a look here. There's something that we got to test out. Well, first of all, we'll go up here. Sound card is in, and it says disconnect. It's got a check by it as if it's connected. The troubleshooting problem I was having when I first installed this Linux Mint. Now, you see that glitch right there that just popped up? On a side note, because those are random. There was a little glitch if you didn't catch it, and that's a display issue. I'm not sure what that is. There it is again. There it is again, you see? And that's a display issue. I'm not sure what it is, to be honest with you. That's another troubleshooting issue that I have to get into, but I just haven't even started yet. So anyway, back to the audio. Audio is what I'm trying to see if it works or not. Because that was the problem I was having. So I don't care. We're just going to click on any video here.
So I didn't think I needed Swiffer until I saw how easily it picked up my hair every time I dried it. It only takes a minute.
And as you can tell, I'm getting no audio.
Heavy-duty cloths are extra thick for amazing travel.
So I might have to troubleshoot it yet again.
Wow.
And that's where these videos come in real handy. because I had audio. I don't understand why I don't have audio now. The little symbol's not down here. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's go to the sound card settings. It says it's connected. Huh. Well, I wonder why we're not... Oh. You know what? We probably are getting sound, folks. That was my mistake. I had my audio off. So I can't hear back anything that's going on. So that was my mistake. I bet you we had audio the whole time. I just made a fool of myself. Let's check again. Yep, we did. Sure enough, my speakers were off. Rookie error right there, but that happens all the time because they shut off automatically in 4 hours. So I'd just leave them on if it were me, and I do. And they shut off, and I forget they're off. Anyway, so back to the troubleshooting issue. So I had no audio. Up here, under removable devices, sound card would not have a check next to it, and it would actually say connect. Give you the option to connect it, but it would not connect. It was giving you an error down here in the corner, saying something about sound audio ID. I don't remember it verbatim. Was assigned to a different host, so to say, which ties back to your host operating system, Microsoft. Now, we're going to check back again and make sure we're still recording. A little red light, I guess, should tell me that even when it's minimized. I believe we are. It shows it is. So anyway, yeah, nothing was working here in Linux. Everything was working, network, internet, everything, just no audio. So I found out the resolution to that on Linux Mint. Now, I'm not sure if this works for other Linux. I think Ubuntu it works with as well, because Ubuntu is kind of the back layer of Linux Mint, I discovered as well. But basically what you want to do, if you get a virtual machine and want to try this out and install Linux Mint, it's free to download. All Linux software is. Install it. It's a cool little operating system to tinker with. And your audio's not working. So come down here on your Windows, and you're going to right-click that. You're going to go to Sounds. And in Sounds here, you're going to focus on recording. Now in here you see my mic and the little thing bobbing up and down as I'm talking to y'all. A few other things, something disabled. These are not even plugged in. We don't need to worry about them. It's highlighted right now to show disabled devices and disconnected devices, which you want. I mean, if you're working on computer, you want to see everything. So, but we don't need to worry about those. This is what we need to worry about. Or there's another option that may show up instead of stereo mix called What You Hear. I believe that's what it's called. I don't have that option. Some other computers will. I'm not sure why I don't. I'm not sure why others will. I just learned that that's a possibility. Either way, stereo mix or What You Hear will be an option that shows up. And what you want to do is right-click that, and instead of disable, it'll say enable. You want to enable that. Pops up with this little bar right here. Now, it's not bobbing to anything, as if it's not in use, and it really just says ready. But as soon as you did that, or What You Hear, you enable. One of those two options. And then you let that be. You go back into your Linux Mint here, you restart it, and all of a sudden you got sound. You know, I can't go and I can't can tell you why. I mean, but that's the issue that fixes it, you know. I wish I had even more knowledge yet. Like, why does that fix it? Like, what? Was there a driver issue? Was there something else? I mean, who knows? Bottom line, it fixed it, you know. So we're good to go there. Like I said, my display glitch that I have, it apparently doesn't pop up when you're just on the desktop, because the desktop is what's popping through the display when you have something up. See, there it is right away again. And I just don't get that. I'm not sure what that's all about. So that's a display issue, I would imagine, with the graphics display. And it probably needs a driver update or something like that. Linux, kind of like Windows, does some automatic driver updates for you. But, you know, I don't actually automatic update my graphics driver on my Windows operating system. I normally go straight to NVIDIA's website and get the newest one they have out. Now, I don't do it. They come out with one monthly. But I don't do it monthly, but, you know, every couple of months I like to get the update, and I go directly to their website. Automatic updates, whether it's Windows or Driver Boost, which is a good app I can show you later on, those types of things are usually updating with a driver that is 1 to 2 months behind, and in their database, if you would, calling it new. So go directly to websites when you're doing stuff like that. And especially with graphics drivers, you know, chipset drivers, CPU drivers, stuff like that, let those automatically update. I've rarely had to go to websites to update those. You can, but I've rarely ever had issues with those. I'm just assuming that glitch is something to do with the display and possibly a display driver. I'm not really too worried about trying to troubleshoot that at this moment. Before I make a video, I do tend to like to try and troubleshoot. I don't do it hands-on on a video, because that'll make a video 3 hours long. You know what I'm saying? So I try to get into it and do a little research beforehand, try to troubleshoot it beforehand like I did this one. So I could then walk you through the process and share the knowledge with you that I've figured out. Linux operating system, I don't know much about it yet. I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you. You all probably know more about it than I do. So I can't even begin to show you anything or teach you anything about it, really. That, again, will come with more experience. There is an Explorer, kind of like on Windows, but I've accessed it once, and I can't even remember how to do that. You know, you click here, you think you're going to Explorer. Well, it really, this isn't Explorer. This is similar to Explorer, but it's not the same thing. Like, you can't bring up your disk drives, for example. You know, but I also figured out that I think that's because it's a virtual machine, and this is all just done through a root folder or something like that, or your disk drives are in there. Again, you know, you guys, I'm just kind of running at the mouth here on some of this. That's just the quick kind of stuff I've read. I'm open to comments and people teaching me things. You know, if there's something you know about this that you saw me do that you right away can snap a finger and go, hey, I know that, shoot a comment or let me know. You know, don't be afraid to share your knowledge with me either. So, anyway, with that being said, it shows we're still recording, so this video kind of came along all right. It's at 17 minutes. This is going to be a bit of a shorter video, but I just wanted to show you guys some of those issues I was having. Apparently, the OBS issue, I troubleshoot that. It seems to stay recording, though I did not use my keyboard extensively. But like I said, I think I was hitting the P anyway when I was typing and doing some other stuff. It makes perfect sense. So I'm going to go with that right now and say that's what it was. My first couple of videos, I never had any errors or issues with, but I had never made the hotkey P. Once I did, I was having issues with those videos. Did some troubleshooting, got that figured out. Showed you guys how to troubleshoot some audio and kind of walked you through what you need to install Linux Mint if you want. If you have any other questions, shoot them my way. Other than that, we'll catch you all later. Peace.